Okay, so it looks like everything is sorted out. So a bit of technical difficulties, kind of cuts in and out right now. Okay, so all good. Alright, I think I am going to get started then in that case. Alright, so hello everyone, I am Primal Pizza, and this is Pokemon Red that I'm going to be playing for you today. Just set my options real quick, and count down. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Pokemon Red Any Percent Glitchless Classic. If you've seen a speedrun of this game before, it was probably of the Any Percent Glitchless category, which is the most popular Pokemon speed game by a mile. Oh man. Okay, I'm stopping. Oh man. Alright. Well, we got time, we're still ahead of schedule. Okay, it's back? Alright, sweet. So anyway, as I was saying, this is the Any Percent Glitchless... Okay, back. Alright, let me just reset, actually. Okay, yeah, hopefully that is it. I don't have the actual stream open right now, so I'm not sure how that's coming through right there. But anyway, hello everyone, for the third time. I'm Primal Pizza, and today I'm going to be running for you Pokemon Red. I set my options, and give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Pokemon Red Any Percent Glitchless Classic. If you've seen a run of this game before, chances are it was of the Any Percent Glitchless category, which is the most popular Pokemon speed game, by a mile actually. And this is kind of its lesser known cousin, Any Percent Glitchless Classic. And the backstory, kind of the backstory behind this category, is that the English-speaking and Japanese-speaking Pokemon speedrunning communities have historically been pretty separate, and due to that, a lot of games actually have different rules between the English and Japanese rule sets, and this is one of them. So, the rule differences between this and Any Percent Glitchless, obviously, there's no glitches allowed. But number one, the big one, is that there's no RNG manipulation allowed in Any Percent Glitchless Classic, which is basically just the Japanese rule set applied to the English game. And that's the big one that's going to be affecting a lot of the run. And number 2 and number 3 I will get to in a little bit. So you might be wondering what starter we are going to choose. The easy answer is Squirtle. Squirtle is the fastest Pokemon that can get through Brock, the first gym leader. And that's going to be our main roadblock in the early game. So we really only need our starter to get through Brock, because spoilers, we are going to be main switching. And Squirtle is the best because it learns Bubble at level 8, which is a very low level. You might be wondering why we aren't picking Bulbasaur, since Grass is also super effective against Rock. However, Bulbasaur learns Vine Whip at level 13, which is just way too high for our purposes. This first fight against Bulbasaur sucks a lot, because Bulbasaur has Tackle and Growl and will use either at random. We want to see as many tackles as possible. Nice, very good, because Growl lowers our attack. Did pick up a potion in the PC for safety, so we are pretty safe in this fight. It's not very likely to kill you. Also, that critical hit was very good because crits ignore all stat changes. So the critical that I just got, it ignored being growled and my attack being lowered. This fight is actually looking to be pretty good. Not very often you see this good of a fight in a marathon. I'm going to check my Squirtle stats right here. I'm checking really very nice. That will make Brock's Pokemon 2 shots instead of 3 shots and make the fight a lot safer. Alright, so now we gotta go up Route 1, and this is kind of encounter hell, as I like to call it. But there is something we need to do here. We do need to kill one encounter for experience, since if we just fought all the minimum required trainers up to Brock... Wow, I actually got no encounters there, that was very lucky. If we just fought all the minimum amount of trainers up to Brock, we would actually be just shy of level 8, where we would get Bubble. So, we do need to kill one encounter for experience. We can encounter Pidgey and Rattata on Route 1, and we can kill either... We want to kill a level 2 or level 3 just because less risk and it takes less time to take out. And we would prefer a Rattata to be encountered over a Pidgey, because first of all, Rattata is less bulky, so it takes less time to take out with Tackle, and because Rattata has 2 moves, Tackle and Tail Whip, while Pidgey only has 1 move, which is Gust. So level 3 Rattata, I can just take this out right here. So if you're fighting a Pidgey, you're pretty much guaranteed to take damage. That crit did not actually matter, since we'd take this out in 3 hits regardless, probably. Alright. And I'm going to talk about, a little bit ahead of time, what it is I'm going to be doing after Route 1. So we are going to main switch to Nidoran Male and use that for the rest of the run, pretty much. And in any percent glitchless, you actually RNG manipulate a virtually perfect Nidoran in the grass on Route 22, but we can't do that here since RNG manipulation is banned. So we just have to kind of randomly walk around for an encounter. We could just encounter a Nidoran just right off the bat, and that would be great. However, if I don't encounter a Nidoran, I'm going to do a little trick called D-Sum manipulation. And what that is imagine a Price is Right wheel with all the slots on it, and every slot on that wheel is an encounter you can get in the grass. There's a slot for level 3 Nidoran Male, there's a slot for level 3 Rattata, a slot for level 4 Rattata, and then you can know your position on the wheel based on the encounter that you get. And since we know that wheel is rotating in a known way and at a known speed, we can kind of take steps in and out of the grass at specific times in order to have more of a chance of encountering a Nidoran. I probably did not explain it the best here, and I know there's like a very technical explanation for it that I am too stupid to get, but I'm just gonna get my Pokeballs and go in here and hope we get this Nidoran in a decent amount of time. I'm looking for a level 3 or level 4 Nidoran Male. There are level 2s in here, but we cannot use them. Well, first step. And that's actually a Spearow, so it's not very often you see this, so I'm actually going to catch this. We are going to need a bird eventually to use the HM Fly, and this Spearow will do just fine if it decides to get in the ball. I would prefer it to get in the ball since we really don't want to be taking a ton of damage right here. Wow. Alright, well, it took more balls than average, but still we have a Spearow. Alright, now just gotta hunt around for Nidoran some more. Alright, here's where D-Sum's gonna come into play. I'm probably gonna be a little quiet right here to focus. Ah, I can't get away. That actually ruins D-Sum. Because now your timing's thrown off, so I just gotta hunt right here. Alright, another Rattata, level 3. Should be able to get away from this. And then I can do some D-Sum. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, and D-Sum works. Here is our Nidoran. It's level 4. I'm just going to tackle this 2 times, actually, just to increase the catch rate, since we used kind of a lot of balls on the Spearow. 4 balls is above average the number of balls to catch it, so hopefully this Nidoran gets in. If we use up all our balls on this, it actually won't matter too much, but thankfully it got in. I just took a lot of damage, so I'm going to have to heal before the next trainer. And we are going to nickname it A, just like we did our player character and our rival, just to save text. So this Nidoran has effectively random stats. In any percent glitchless with Manips, you would RNG manipulate a Nidoran with perfect DVs. Stands for determinate values, and they're basically like this game's version of IVs from modern Pokemon games, if you're familiar with those. But they go from 0 to 15 instead of 0 to 31. But this Nidoran has random stats, so we do not know what they are just yet, but we will shortly. I'm going to be walking kind of a specific path in the forest right here, and that is because in specifically the English versions of this game, or the international versions, there are certain tiles in this forest, tiles with a flower in the bottom right corner that can't generate encounters. So all those tiles I was walking on right there, and all the tiles I'm going to be walking on right here, can't generate encounters. So by walking through as many of those as possible, we can actually... Well, that tile obviously can generate encounters. By walking through as many of those tiles as possible, we can reduce our chance for encounters. And pick up a little safety potion right here, and then I actually have to heal since I'm pretty low health. And this fight right here is awful. This is Weedle guy. This is actually one of the worst fights in the game, and he just has a singular Weedle. The problem is it has Poison Sting and String Shot, and will use either at random. Which is, you know, it's fine until it poisons you turn 1, which thankfully did not happen right here. I want to see as many String Shots as possible. And this Weedle's actually a range to 4-shot with Tackle. When I say range, I mean that damage in this game is slightly randomized. And so might not kill with 4. Ah! I actually got a crit there, which dealt less damage than a normal hit. That's because in Gen 1 exclusively, critical hits ignore all stat changes. So, that critical hit actually ignored both the tail whips I did on that Weedle, and dealt less damage, which really sucks. Alright, now we reach level 8 from that, and learn Bubble, which is going to be our tool for getting past Brock. So we are pretty much set for Brock right now, especially since we have a Spearow to sack if things don't go as expected, which they should, because this Squirtle is great and has good special. Actually, I want to do swap Nidoran to the front right here, because Nidoran is only level 4, and to level it up a bit, we are going to switch train it against Brock, so it gets to level 8 and learns a move called Horn Attack, which is going to be very helpful in the near future. I'm just going to have to remember that I have the Spearow for my menus. And so you don't usually get Spearow here, it's pretty rare in that grass. So Brock has a Geodude and an Onix, and With a good special, this is a pretty easy fight, not much risk involved. But the main thing in this fight is, when Nidoran levels up, I'm actually going to be checking its stats and entering them into a program, a neat little program called the Red Helper. That's going to kind of give me a range of DVs that this Nidoran could be. I'm actually going to potion right here. This Nidoran is pretty low health. Alright, that's great. Should be completely fine for Broxox. I'm going to check Nidoran's stats right here and enter them in. Alright, so this Nidoran, oh boy. This is looking like an interesting Nidoran right here. I will say. Onyx used Bide, so we have to stall with Tail Whips. Bide can last 1 or 2 turns at random. So if I'd bubbled there, since it was short Bide, I'd actually be dead. This Bide just deals twice the amount of damage received during its duration. Alright, I'm going to check Nidoran's stats one more time just to get a rough idea. Oh boy, this Nidoran has very bad speed and very bad special, which is going to be pretty interesting. Bad speed actually gets to do some interesting stats. Okay, so, Brock actually said when we beat him that his badge raises attack, and he is completely right. His badge actually does raise attack, in that every time you enter battle, you get a 12.5% boost to your attack automatically. The badge boosts in this game actually work a little wonky in that they can be reapplied under certain circumstances. If any of your other stats are recalculated, like if the enemy uses a stat-lowering move, or if you use an item that boosts your stats or a move that boosts your stats, that attack boost is actually applied again. Basically, what that means in this fight in particular is if I get String Shot, in addition to my speed falling, my attack is going to get another badge boost cumulative, which might help out against this Caterpie. Unfortunately, I did not see String Shot right here. If you get some good badge boosts, you can actually two-shot this Caterpie, but that's unlikely to happen now. Yeah. Unless I crit, I'm not two-shotting this. Need to heal right here. And since I need to save some horn attacks on this route, it's pretty tight. So I'm going to finish things with Tackle when I can, and when it's safe to. So this is 5 DV speed, which is actually... it's actually like the minimum I would take in a PV attempt. So we don't get to see super low speed strats. We almost have all our stats figured out right here. Through this route, I'm just kind of going to be checking on certain level ups, what my stats are, and entering them into this program. I only need to figure out my defense right now, which is the least important DV. But it's also my highest DV, which is not great. Alright, this fight right here is a bit of a pain, but since I have high defense, this is actually a fight where defense matters the most for, so it shouldn't be too bad. This guy has a Rattata and an Ekans, and they're both pretty bad. Rattata has Tail Whip and Quick Attack, and if you have bad defense, it can actually get you into a bit of a heal loop. Thankfully, you see Quick Attack first. And Tackle missed. Yeah, Tackle is 95% accurate in this game. Not 100% accurate like it is in Oh, see? Quick Attack crit can deal a lot of damage right there, so I'm actually gonna have to heal on this Ekans. Oh no. Okay. I misclicked. That's not good. Forget I did that. This Ekans is bad because it has Wrap, which is a really broken move in that it kind of locks you out of being able to move for 2 to 5 turns at random. So it can just lose a ton of time at various points throughout the run. And these next couple fighters, there's not really too much to talk about. So I guess I can give you kind of a rough overview. Not a rough overview, I got them almost all figured out, but an overview of my stats. I have 8 DV attack, which is kind of middle of the road, since DVs can go from 0 to 15. Since I got a badge boost here, I can actually go for tackle, and it will, I think, kill. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna look stupid. Yeah, I look stupid. I have 5 DV speed, which is pretty bad, and I have a 1 DV special, which is horrible. Getting a critical hit against these Kakunas and Metapods can save a lot of turns, because that ignores all the hardens they are doing. If we don't, should be fine. And next level, I will actually know my defense. My defense is either 10 or 12 DV. Oh wow, another tackle miss. AI is getting very unlucky, which is good for me, and this Niddo is probably going to need a bit of that to survive. It's not the best. Alright, I have 12 DV defense, which is very good, but unfortunately, I don't have 12 DV in any other stat. I'm running a little low on horn attacks. Oh, see? That crit came at a very opportune time. Crit, that would have taken like 3 more horn attacks to take out, and instead I can just take it out with a crit. So I have enough horn attacks for this trainer right here. Gen 1 Mist does not say it failed. Gen 1 Mist still says it missed. If it's on a damaging move. If it's on a status move, I believe it'll say it failed. However, not all status moves, since stat-lowering moves actually have just a natural 25% chance to fail anyway if used by the AI. Like, I don't know if we saw it at all right here, but if a Caterpie like used String Shot, it could say it failed, and that's not a Gen 1 miss. That's just the natural 25% chance for it to fail. Coming a little bit close with these horn attacks. Unfortunately got a String Shot, so I am outsped by this Metapod, which is very bad. Wastes a lot of time. If I don't crit this turn, I'm going to have to use a tackle to finish it off. Yeah, I'm out of horn attack BP. Alright, we made it through. And we learn a new move, which is Poison Sting. Which, despite being a very weak and low-powered move, is actually pretty useful. If I did not get a Spearow on Route 22, I'd actually catch a bird right here. It's a 90% chance to get either a Pidgey or a Spearow. But fortunately, got that figured out. So now we're actually going to take the Pokemon Center right here. And this is really just to reset our Horn Attack PP. There's no good way around that. We don't have access to any PP restoring items. And then we go in Mount Moon, which is a really interesting part of the run, and also, in some ways, a really bad part of the run. See, in any percent glitchless with Manips, you would RNG manipulate Mount Moon to get no encounters throughout, except for a Paris at the end, which you manip a catch on, and use that as a cut HM user. But we gotta go through here entirely manipless. Which kinda sucks, because you could just get unlucky with encounters. The average number of encounters in Mount Moon is about 10.5 to 11, I believe. My lowest number ever is 4, which is actually in my PB, which is just pretty insanely low. You never expect to get that low amount of encounters. But we do actually have something to do in Mount Moon besides just run away from encounters. First of all, if we see a Paris, we would love to try and catch that, because we need a cut user. And Paris is the fastest one to get. If we don't get a Paris, that's fine. It's pretty rare. And there are backups. Will this Screech Badge boost let me two-shot this Voltorb? No. See, I'm actually going to finish with Poison Sting right here. And that's because, look at that animation right there. That is very fast. Even though animations are turned off in options, that doesn't actually turn the animations off. It really just replaces all the animations with one of two default animations. Moves that don't have a secondary effect, like Tackle or Horn Attack for instance, get what's called a flash animation, where the enemy Pokemon just kind of like flashes for about a second, a couple seconds, and that is really slow. Moves that do have an added effect, like Bubble's chance to lower speed, or Poison Sting's chance to poison, they actually use what's called a shake animation, where you can saw the screen just shaked a little, and it's almost a second faster than a flash animation. So if we can finish things off with Poison Sting, or another move with a shake animation, we're going to want to do that. Even if it's super effective or not very effective and has that extra text box, it's still faster than a flash animation. So as I was saying, we do have something to do in Mount Moon, besides catch Paris. We would like to get a little bit of extra experience in Mount Moon, since that will get us a lot of good level ups through the next, like, half an hour-ish. However, there are two ways to get that experience. You could just fight a few encounters and get that experience, or if you have, like, kind of bad attack like I do, or you just want to play safe, you could fight an optional trainer, which is what I am going to do. Next trainer I'm going to fight is an optional hiker, which is why I picked up this TM12 right here, which contains Water Gun, and I'm going to teach it to Nidorino. Because this hiker has a bunch of Rock-type Pokemon, which takes a little bit to kill, but it offers a lot of experience, and honestly makes things a lot safer throughout this next couple sections, I would say. So it actually doesn't end up being that slow after all. But until then, we are at the mercy of encounters right here. And the hiker is coming up right here. If only we had Water Gun, like, prior to Brock. We could actually pick a different starter. We could actually pick Charmander. Would be the fastest then, because Charmander can learn Cut. We wouldn't have to get another Cut user. And then we could just pick up probably Lapras for Surf. And that also gets us an extra level for this next fight coming up. And we're going to pick up a Moonstone right here, which is very important, since it allows us to evolve into Nidoking, which we're going to do before this next trainer. Yeah, I'm pretty unlucky with encounters right here, but that's really what you get with this category. By far the worst part of this... Wow. He's got two-stepped. By far the worst part of this category, I would say, is resetting bad Mount Moon luck, because that just feels the worst. But I think the unique qualities of this category more than make up for that. Yes, reset again. Attempt number 4. Oh, there we go. There is a Paris right there. which will be great for me to catch. I'm just gonna horn attack it real quick. And this should be about a 74% chance to get in the ball. Sweet! Got all our Pokemon for the whole run. We are not going to need any more. Always feels nice getting a Paris and Mount Moon. So you don't have to do any of the backups, because they're both pretty slow. We're almost at the end here, and right before this next trainer I'm going to use the Moonstone to evolve into Nidoking. Isn't glitchless pretty hard since the game is so buggy? Not really. It's a lot of things that people say are glitches, we don't really count as glitches. Just like quirks of the game mechanics. Like, people count badge boost reapplication as a glitch, where, like, I don't know, it's where the definition of a glitch can get pretty muddy, and there's been a lot of debate. There's been a lot of debate on this. But, you know, a good rule of thumb, if it's unavoidable, it's just unavoidable. Now this fight is not too much of a problem. This guy's a Rattata and a Zubat. And really the only bad thing that can happen is the Zubat can confuse us with Supersonic if it hits. Fortunately, we're pretty high health. So there's a good chance we get through it anyway. Especially since we didn't get tail whipped by the rat. Nice, Supersonic failed. Supersonic's only 55% accurate, so it's not too often that it hits you. That fighting glitchless is a nightmare because you are still Nidoran. Because you don't get the extra experience. And this fight there's not really a ton to talk about. This Grimer can use Disable. And in Gen 1, Disable does not disable your last move used. It actually just disables a random move. And if it disables Horn Attack, this fight can go pretty badly. You can see I'm finishing this Voltorb off with Poison Sting, and that's just a very quick animation. And part of what that extra experience does is this is one of the good level ups it gets. Level 18 before the coughing, only if you fight the Hiker. And that gives us a much greater chance to two-shot it. You don't two-shot this normally at level 17, especially with my attack. And that's because of kind of a rounding quirk of this game. And not just this game. This is actually in the, throughout the entire Pokemon series. If your level ends in 3, 5, 8, or 0, it's actually a rounding quirk that works in your favor. That makes you deal a lot more damage, as opposed to one level lower. DVs. My DVs are 8 attack, 12 defense, 5 speed, and 1 special. So not amazing, but we're gonna make it work. Out of Mount Moon at long last. And in Cerulean City, we're just gonna immediately use the Pokemon Center. We do want kind of our health restored, and PP restoration is nice also, but this is mainly to set our warp point to Cerulean. If you use a Pokemon Center, then that sets that town as your warp point if you die, or if you use Fly, or Dig, or Teleport, or anything. Got a nice little hidden rare candy here. And this next fight coming up is really bad. This is one of the most annoying fights in the game. And that is because he leads with Pidgeotto. And Pidgeotto is 1 in 3 to use Sand Attack, which lowers your accuracy. And accuracy lowering is very broken in this game. When you use Horn Attack's 100% accurate. But after one sand attack, it is 67% accurate, and after two, it's 50%. Oh? If I can crit it... Nice! No sands. No sand attack. That's very good. Did get a lot of damage on Pidgeotto, though. But it should be fine. Love seeing no sand attack. Well, 99.6 accurate. For those who don't know, every 100% accurate move in Gen 1 actually has a 1 in 256 chance to miss. And there's not really much of a way to play around that. So if that happens at a bad time, you could just die and have to do a backup. I'm actually gonna potion right here, since Horn Attack is not guaranteed to take it out, and if it crits Vine Whip, I'm dead. Okay. Worth it to play it safe, since I think I would have healed anyway for a couple fights. One thing to talk about is another rule of this category is that the instant text exploit is banned. In any percent glitchless, what you do is you actually go into the bike shop, and if you go into the bike shop and mash through the salesman's dialogue with B, the game forgets to set a flag that that sets your text to like the normal speed as opposed to like the instant text used for menus. And then all your text is instant, which obviously speeds up the game a lot until you open a menu. And you need to use menus to heal, to sack something if a battle goes wrong, or to even like heal up Pokemon Center or save or anything. So that really adds a lot of risk. And that is just banned in this category. It's not allowed in red races too, actually, just because it's a lot of risk. Yeah, this is the any percent glitchless Japanese rule set, but in an English game. This trainer can be a bit annoying. This first Pidgey does not die to Horn Attack, and it also has Sand Attack. If it uses it, can get a little annoying. Not as dangerous as the rival fight, though. Nice, did not see it. Oh! Crit that Nidoran. That is usually a 2-shot. So let's save time. Okay, this next fight I should be fine on, since the extra experience actually makes these ranges a lot better. Usually all of this trainer's Pokemon are ranges. Not exactly sure what they'd be at my attack, but because I'm level 20 here and have the extra stat XP from the hiker, should be completely fine. This Ekans might still be a range. Well, Ekans can't really do anything too threatening. Oh yeah. I got wrapped right there. That is unfortunate. Only 2 turns though, which is the minimum it can last. And we're actually going to level up to level 21 right here. We would level up later if we took an alternate experience route, but because we took safety and fought the hiker, we get to level 21 right here. And what that means is we can use our 2 rare candies to reach level 23 and learn the best move in the game, Thrash. Well, one of them. Thrash is one reason why Nidoking is so great. Thrash is 90 base power, which is far stronger than anything else we've seen. It hits 3 or 4 turns randomly, and you don't know until it's over. And it only uses 1 PP for all of the uses of Thrash, so it's very PP efficient, which is extremely good for this speedrun. And also, as you can see, you don't have to go into the move selection menu, which saves a lot of time throughout the run. So throughout this next section, just gonna be pretty much just thrashing stuff. And that's one of the benefits of doing hiker strats, fighting the hiker, as opposed to getting XP from encounters or just skipping experience, is that you get Thrash earlier, which makes these fights a lot faster, since all these Pokemon are usually 2-shots. But with Thrash, they're easy 1-shots. Except that Nidoran, but it's still faster anyways. And this is, you really get to see why Nidoking is such a beast here. Because you're just one-shotting everything with Thrash or with whatever other move. You are... I don't think the game designers thought you would have like a stage 3 evolution here before the second gym. So these stats are just very good at this point of the game. They'll even out later in the game, but for this stage in the game, Nidoking is absurdly powerful. And because we have Water Gun, we can actually take this bottom hiker right here, which is faster than fighting the top hiker. You have to fight one of them. This guy just has an Onyx, which we just destroy with Water Gun. And it's a lot faster than the alternative option. The other guy has a Machop and a Geodude. And if you didn't fight the hiker, you wouldn't pick up Water Gun in Mount Moon. So you just have to thrash the Geodude, which can go badly, and is slow. But yeah, this is, I'd say, the most brain-dead portion of the run. You're just creaming everything with Thrash. There's not really many difficult fights. It's kind of the calm before the storm, since we're gonna come up shortly on a very difficult fight that everyone loves. I'm gonna fight this top guy right here. 80% glitchless would fight the bottom guy, because they need the extra experience. The bottom guy has more Pokemon, so he's slower to fight, but they need the extra experience for their route. The experience routing in this game is very particular, because leveling up actually erases badge boosts, which can be very detrimental to certain fights. So every experience route for this game has to be very carefully routed to avoid kind of bad level ups. Ooh, got a bit of a sound glitch right there. Sometimes trainers, after you beat them, kind of have like a... their victory music sounds a little glitched. I got one in my practice run yesterday that was really cool. I'm doing Epic Grunt menu later. No, because I haven't updated my notes, I'm sorry. The stat XP also would mess with the stats. But yeah, that is routed as well. Alright, that's the last trainer before Bill, and then we get to the good stuff. Gonna go to the fence right here, pick up our first PP out of the run. Hidden Ether. And then talk to Bill. He's somehow turned himself into a Pokemon, and we decide to help him with his predicament. Right, Randall. He is kind of a science guy. Ever considered that? So the reason we need to talk to Bill is he gives us the SS ticket. And we gotta make sure to talk to Bill, not just ditch him. This is not the game for that. We got the SS ticket, and now, because of the tile set they used in this house, you can actually escape rope out of it for some reason, and return right back to Cerulean. That is why we centered. I'm actually going to center again just for safety. Could elect to just double potion instead, but my special DV is very low, which could pose a problem for a certain fight coming up. And we are going to head right into the gym. And this trainer right here has a Goldeen. There's not really well, this Goldeen can be annoying because it has Supersonic. And if you get confused, it can be a little bit of a problem. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Nice Peck, that is pretty fine. We're looking at pretty nice HP. And I'm actually going to do a save right here for Misty. Misty is the first example of what we like to call good AI. And what good AI does is it kind of prioritizes using moves that are super effective. So Misty's Starmie is the problem here, and it has Tackle, Water Gun, and Bubble Beam, but because of good AI, it will only use Water Gun or Bubble Beam on Nidoking, because it looks at Nidoking's type and it says that's super effective. And Starmie is very fast, and crits in Gen 1 are based on speed, so pretty much the faster a Pokemon is, the more speed it has. And this is actually a very good fight, so I should... No! Crit Water Gun. I think if I actually healed the Goldeen damage, I would have survived that. I just gotta try it again. That is okay. This is the worst fight in the game. Especially since I have bad speed and do not outspeed this Starmie. I give it 2 turns instead of 1 turn. That wasn't... it didn't even use Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam is a much stronger move than Water Gun. So this fight you really just gotta thrash and pray. Okay, Water Gun, that is good. Alright, just Water Gun non-crit again. Ah, boy. Bubble Beam crit, okay. I'm healing off the damage. This is going pretty poorly. Not really a ton you can do about this fight. It's a good thing I saved. Misty could also X-defend her Starmie, which is really bad. Because that means it takes more thrashes to take out. If that happens, I will just swap to Squirtle. Oh, Bubble Beam, man. Bubble Beam crit right off the bat. What is happening? The crit rate in Gen 1 is the Pokemon's base speed, and then it is divided by 2, floored over 256. So it's pretty much base speed over 512. So Starmie has, I think, about a 20% chance to crit, which it's critting over 20% of the time here, so I'm getting pretty unlucky. Can I get 4th try Misty, please? Okay, Water Gun. Love to see that. Water Gun non-crit, really love to see that. Now just use Water Gun again, and we'll be fine. Or X-defend. Okay, good. Survive Misty. 4th try's the charm. Great. You can see how bad specials just makes you take a lot more damage than you would otherwise. So that was unfortunate, but we got past. You could actually elect to, if you're confused, because at the end of Thrash you get confused, swap in Squirtle, and Tail Whip Tail Whip Star me a bunch. Because good AI also deprioritizes not very effective moves if a neutral alternative exists, which is going to come into play quite a ways through the run, but it's going to be very important. Remember that, there's going to be a test. This Machop is a range, it's a really good range. Nice, I made it. And then Thrash always kills this Drowsy, which is very good, because this Drowsy would be a pain to deal with otherwise. It's got a very annoying moveset. I'm actually looking at pretty good HP for this next section. Innocent bystander immediately identifies as a rocket grunt. You're right, you'd think it would have gone undercover or something. Alright, now we just got a little section of walking right here. In this underground path. Fortunately, I got a Paris and Mount Moon. If I didn't, there's a couple backups I could have done to get another cut user. I could have gotten an Oddish in this grass coming up, which is the last place we're going to be able to get encounters. Get one right off the bat. And I'm actually going to kill this. Because getting just a little bit of extra XP will get me another good level up. Yeah, you can find Oddish in this grass. There's supposedly 33%. Or 35%, or whatever. Somewhere around there. 2 encounters, pretty unlucky. Oh, what are you gonna do? Then we just got a couple trainers we are going to absolutely smash with Thrash. Then we have a couple of interesting fights. These Pidgeys can quick attack you, and they're 1 in 3 to do so, I believe. Nice! No quick attacks. That is pretty good. This guy's Eradicate that can also quick attack me. The other backup for if you don't have a cut user can only be done if you have Spearow. So if I did get a Paris and Mount Moon, because I had a Spearow, I would have actually traded the Spearow for Farfetch'd in Vermilion City and used Farfetch'd for cut. Ooh, got a quick attack there. I'm actually gonna heal. Just for safety. As this next fight coming up can be a little risky at low health. There are definitely circumstances where you would want to be at low health here, but this is not really one of them. We got an SS ticket, that is good. I actually won't let you leave Cerulean City without an SS ticket because there'll be a policeman guarding the door. I found that out the hard way. Wait, I actually have to heal. Don't want to forget about that. In PB attempts, you'd actually want to try to be low health here for a red bar setup, and I'll talk about red bar in great detail shortly. But, with my stats looking the way they are, I do not want to go for that right here. And also, I just taught Bubble Beam to Nidoking. There's a lot of moves in this run that you are like, why can Nidoking learn that? And Bubble Beam's one of them, especially since it is weak to water. Actually, walking on the right side here saves time because the rival has to walk fewer steps, and he walks at half the speed you do. It's a little movement optimization. Yeah, Nidoking can't learn Dig. That is very fun, even though it is ground type. This Pidgeotto does no sand attack, And if we see Sand Attack, we're actually gonna have to sack something. Thankfully, we didn't. No Sand Attacks. That is very good. I am just going to Thrash here. Ivysaur takes 2 Thrashes, so we could potentially get 3-turn Thrash and I'll be confused. In that case, I could just sack Squirtle. Ivysaur's 50% to use Vine Whip on Squirtle because of good AI. It's also 50% to use Leech Seed, which is weird. Okay, the way the AI works in this fight is really strange. Since, okay, Nidoking is ground poison type. Grass is super effective on ground, not very effective on poison, so grass is neutral on Nidoking. Good AI, when determining what moves are super effective, looks at Nidoking's second type, so it looks at the ground type. So it thinks Vine Whip is super effective, so we'll only use grass moves on Nidoking. It thinks grass is super effective. But you saw it used Vine Whip on Nidoking, and the game stated it was not very effective. That's because the game, in that case, looks at Nidoking's first type, but the damage is still calculated neutrally. So it's just weird. The game thinks it's super effective, not very effective, and neutral all at the same time. Just, there's a lot of things in this game, man, that just make you go, like, what were they thinking? How did they not catch that? This is the longest break in the run. Nice time to take a long swig of water or other gamer juice if you have any. I prefer LaCroix myself. I'm one of those people. I'm going to do a little bit of a menu here. And then teach our HMs to Paris. For some reason, Nidoking can't learn Dig, even though it's a ground type. No idea why. That would be immensely helpful throughout the run. But now it's Surge Cans time, and Glitch lets you RNG manipulate these as well, but these cans are effectively random, although with some pattern and strategy to them, but you're really at the mercy of luck here. Been stuck here in this gym for minutes before. Ooh. Okay, it happened. So, regardless of the first can, the second can could potentially be the top left can. That's a strange bug, and I'm so happy that it happened right here. Alright, because I'm level 28 here and have a good enough attack, I can actually thrash this Voltorb. Normally thrash would be a range, but it's guaranteed at level 28 because I fought that extra encounter. Okay, and Surge's Raichu looks intimidating, but it actually can't hurt Nidoking at all. Its only damaging moves are electric type, so there is no risk. I'm actually going to sack Spearow. Unfortunately got a Confusion hurt self right there. Yeah, Thrash is still a range of 28 bad attack, but I have just enough attack to make it work. I checked it, it's guaranteed at 7 DV attack. And I have 8. So, unfortunately, I have really bad special, so I'm gonna have to heal this. There's a mechanic in this game, there's a cool mechanic called the Red Bar. And it's called Red Bar because, and if it were in a Pokemon game with color, the HP bar would be red when you're at low health. And it makes the very annoying beeping sound. And that beeping sound actually jingle skips a lot of things in battle. You're gonna see Red Bar a ton in like the later part of the run, so it's not too bad that we can't go for it now. But you need kind of good special in order to reliably go for it and not die, because in this next coming section you really, really, really do not want to die. And we got the bike fetcher. And this is another building we can just, like, dig or escape rope out of. I do not know why. And now we are going to get the bicycle. I'm not gonna heal just now yet. I'll let you see Red Bar a little bit in action. Oh man, mismenued. Menuing in this game is very particular. And I'm gonna teach Nidoking Thunderbolt. Again, no idea why I can learn Thunderbolt, but it's a stupid strong move for this point in the game. So I'm very glad I can learn it. We're coming up here on a trainer called 4-Turn Thrash Girl. And she is called that because she has 4 Pokemon. They all die to Thrash. Thrash is 50% to last 3 turns. So if that happens, I'm gonna have to get a little creative. But hopefully we can just hit all 4. You can see I can just go right into the fight menu while in Red Bar. And it skipped Nidoking's Cry. Skips this Bellsprout's Cry too. And that saves minutes throughout the run. Having like full Red Bar everywhere. Let's see, hopefully I get 4-turn. Yes! Good. Easy fight. That fight is really awful in PB attempts. Because if you're at Red Bar here, which you want to be at Red Bar here in PB attempts, and you hurt yourself, you're just dead. And there's nothing you can really do about that. That wouldn't be very slow. Thrash is a range on this Venonat coming up, but it's fine. Nice, I just got the range. We'd just do that. Next, we're coming up on a rock tunnel right here, which is very dark. They want you to get the Flash HM, but who needs that? Flash HM is a couple minutes out of the way. It's stupidly out of the way. But fortunately, it's pretty easy to kind of feel your way around, if you know the layout. This trainer right here is good to set up Red Bar on if you can do that. But I do not really need to, and both his Pokemon just die. In fact, if you die to his Cubone, that's very bad if you haven't sacked your bird already. That's very bad. I accidentally used another repel. You have to kind of improvise that. Okay, that's fine. So the reason I didn't want to go for full Red Bar in this section is this Slowpoke right here is actually a range with bad special. And so if I miss the range, I could just die. Fortunately, I just get the range though, and I look like an idiot because I healed. And even this far into the run, you see I just turned to level 30. Oh, too late square. I just turned to level 30, and that is actually because of the XP I got all the way back in Mount Moon, which makes this Oddish range a lot more consistent. Still a range though, and I just missed it. Stun Spore is bad. Just don't get fully parried. Alright? I have Paralyzed Heals for a reason, so it's fine if you just make it through. Growl is very bad. Actually like to Paralyze Heal right here. Okay, we're fine. Just wanted to be safe and not locked into Thrash, so I, horn attacked. Fortunately, I'm not confused. I could not remember if, you were still confused if you got fully parried, but you're not. Okay, I'm gonna use my last repel right here. I think I'm gonna go some steps, at the end where I could get encounters, unfortunately. But that's not that big of a deal. No. I could've let him see me and saved a couple steps, but this movement is just ingrained in my muscle memory. This fight is pretty simple. You just bubble beam all these guys. In the tool-assisted speedrun, this fight is very funny. In that, these Geodudes, it's faster to Gen 1 miss your move, and then have them use self-destruct, and Gen 1 miss their self-destruct. It's very funny to see. Okay, I'm gonna let this trainer see me to save steps. Yeah, I can get encounters right here. It's okay. There are definitely worse menu mistakes to make. Yeah, just don't get any encounters. You could just not get any encounters. Like, I got 2 encounters on the way to Vermilion. That should, you know, I'm kind of owed this encounterless. Getting red bar right here is actually good if we don't get, if we get an encounter. So we'll be able to, run sooner. Nice! Just don't get any encounters. Easy. It was just RNG manipulation using the repel in the wrong space. Oh wait, that's banned. Oh no. This is a Gambler, he has a Growlithe and a Vulpix, and this is, fun fact, this is the worst fight to die to in the entire game. Because you gotta go all the way through Rock Tunnel, you have to, get repels again. By repels at Cerulean, which is slow. That Growlithe is a range, so fortunately I got it. And this Vulpix can't kill me, so I am good. Plus, you lose half of your money when you die, and we're going to go on a huge shopping trip right after this, so losing, like, half your money here really, really limits how much extra stuff you can buy for safety. Alright. I'm gonna focus for a second here. Nice. Got that. I use an audio cue to pick that one up. A lot of people use a visual cue, but I find it easier to do with an audio cue myself. Alright, now we are going to go to Celadon Mart and buy pretty much all of our items for the rest of the run. Well, most of our items. First off, we're going to sell some of the stuff we don't need. These nuggets, and then we can sell our remaining Pokeballs. And we're gonna buy Super Repels. Hopefully I won't use any in the wrong space, since that could be very bad. We're gonna buy some Super Potions. And we are going to buy a couple Revives for safety. We're gonna go all the way up to the 6th floor. And we're gonna buy some drinks. And the reason for that is to trade them to this NPC for some cool TMs. Freshwater gets you Ice Beam, which is an amazing move, and Soda Pop gets you Rock Slide, which is it's a move. It's a move, alright. That we will use it. It's a necessary move. Make sure to buy another Freshwater, this is extremely important. And we're gonna go down one floor and buy a bunch of X items, which are ridiculously overpowered in this game. We're gonna buy 14 X accuracies. Ooh. X special and some X speeds. Actually gonna buy another X special, just in case. And we are done with our shopping trip. So those moves we just got, Ice Beam is very, very good coverage for a lot of different Pokemon, like dragons, anything flying. Well, we have Thunderbolt for that, but Ice Beam's useful for a lot of the other stuff, like ground types, rock ground types. Rock Slide is useful for 4 Pokemon in total, which we will see in a few minutes. I'm gonna do a bit of a menu right here. Alright. So now we kind of have, the classic exclusive portion of the game. You would not see this part of the game in Glitchless. That's because the third rule of Classic is that there are no sequence breaks allowed. There is a very cool sequence break you can do by buying a Pokédoll and using that against the Ghost Marowak in Pokemon Tower. And that just, that acts like you've won the fight. So you can just skip getting the Silph Scope and the entire Rocket Hideout, but that is banned in Classic, so you're seeing the Rocket Hideout whether you like it or not. Having Red Bar is pretty good throughout this section. Yeah, best part, with the best music. I'll let you listen to the music for a bit. And we get to take these spinny pads that are insanely slow in this game. Like, look at that. That's pathetic. Such a good song. My favorite song in the game. In Glitchless, you only get to hear this song in Bruno's room in the Elite Four, and it's barely any of it. But you actually get to hear a whole loop of this after this fight. That's a good song. Rocket says, who has the lift key? But it's him. He has the lift key. He's just trying to trick you. Little known fact. You can see that we skipped the level up jingle in Red Bar too. It just saves a lot of time. It actually saves like 1 frame per text box too, because it skips the text clearing jingle. And watch this. Standing on top of the lift key. Amazing. Best trick in the game. Another little spinny pad section up here. And then we are going to get a very, very, very cool move in this this item ball right here. And that is Horn Drill. And if you're familiar with Pokemon, you might say, what? Horn Drill? That's a trash move. Horn Drill sucks. And yeah, it does. It's a one-hit KO move that has 30% accuracy. And in Gen 1, you can only use one-hit KO moves if you outspeed the opponent. However, we have these nifty little items called X accuracies. And the X accuracy item in Gen 1, what it does is, it doesn't like increase your accuracy stage like a normal game. No, it completely removes the concept of accuracy from the game. So your moves just always hit. I'm gonna Super Repel on this tile. That is for a reason, and I hope I get it if I move correctly, since it's pretty cool. And we're gonna do a lot of menuing right here. Menuing is one of the hardest parts of Gen 1, and one of the most carefully routed parts, I would say, as well. Let me teach him 3 moves in this menu. How menus work in this game... How menus work in this game is you kind of want items that you're going to be using a lot, like repels and the bike at the, and X items at the top of your menu. And once you use up all of a consumable item in your menu, your cursor resets to the top of the menu. So what you do is you actually swap down items that you don't need with the items you need, and then you use consumable items to reset your menu. So yeah, use an X accuracy right there. I'm just gonna use Ice Beam right here. This is a range with my special. Okay, I got it. And then this Arbok right here. And just use Horn Drill. And because of the X accuracy, and because I'm faster than this Arbok, it's just gonna kill. So X accuracy is great. It even prevents Gen 1 missing, even. So certain fights you literally cannot lose. Which is very cool. This guy's nothing to really worry about, except his Ekans is a range. It's a good range, but it's still a range. And I get both Ekans ranges, it's very cool. Just moving along with Red Bar. And next we reach Giovanni. She could X-Ack on his Onyx or his Rhyhorn. I don't really want to take too much damage, so I'm gonna X-Ack on his Onyx and hope he doesn't, like, bind me. Nice, Guard Spec is great. Now we're set for this fight. It's not too dangerous to go for Red Bar in a lot of, like, this part of the game and future parts of the game, because you have revives now. And you don't need to go shopping, so you don't have to worry about money. Alright, now we got the Sylph Scope, and we can dig out, and that is the end of this section. We now return to your regularly scheduled, glitchless programming. We get to enter the spooky, scary tower. On this fight, we have to set up an X accuracy on his Pidgeotto, and he can damage us, and he does have quick attack, so we can get damaged twice, which we would like to not get damaged twice, if possible. Oh, I am not gonna risk that. Alright. Fortunately, I have enough potions just to kind of heal when I need to. And we get to keep Red Bar right here. We're kind of limited on X accuracy since it costs a lot. I can only buy 1 extra with the route I'm using. So we really want to make sure not to avoid dying in fights where we use an X accuracy. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you why we have Rock Slide. We use Rock Slide for 4 Pokemon exclusively. They are all Ghastlies. And Rock Slide is a terrible move because it is 90% accurate. The reason we need to use Rock Slide on these Ghastlies is, number 1, Nidoking can't learn Dig for some unearthly reason. And number 2, Ghastlies have an insanely high special stat. And the special stat in Gen 1 encompasses both special attack and special defense. So, if something has high special, like Ghastly, it deals a lot with special moves, and it takes not very much from special moves. And these Ghastlies have a horrible moveset, so we really want to not miss Rock Slide. Nice, got the first one. We have Nightshade, which kills us. They have Confuse Ray, which is not good. And I'm actually not dead to a Nightshade, just barely. And they have Lick, which can paralyze us. Fortunately, we hit both of these. And the next ones aren't nearly as scary because we are going to get a free heal. Or pick up a couple elixirs. PP Restoration is very valuable, because otherwise you would just have to heal at the Pokemon Center a bunch of times, which isn't any fun. Got a free heal right here, so we're at full health. So missing a Rock Slide now is not nearly as deadly. It's still kind of bad. So you could get confused or paralyzed, but it's fine. Nice. Hit that one. We're 3 for 3. Going strong. We need to hit one more Rock Slide in the entire game. Alright. Please. Don't do it. Don't miss. Don't miss. Good. Whew. Past the Ghastlies. That first channeler we fought in the tower is a really, really annoying trainer for PB attempts. And now we can fight this Ghost Marowak, which actually could be a range depending on his DVs, because I have such bad special. It'd be really funny if it doesn't die. Yeah, this game spells elixir the wrong way. Okay, nice. Got it. I could just use a Pokédoll to skip that, but that is banned in Classic. And then these fights we are just going to decimate. There's not really much that can happen, because we're at full health and are an extremely overpowered Pokemon with extremely overpowered moves facing a Zubat. Yeah, if Nidoking got Dig, this tower section would be so much easier, because you could just dig the ghosts. You can hit them with ground-type moves because they don't have Levitate. Levitate and abilities in general were introduced in Gen 3. And the only other physical move we would really have access to that can hurt the ghosts is Poison Sting, which it's not gonna deal a lot because it's very low power and 4 times resisted. And there's another fight that we just decimate with X-Accuracy Horn Drill. There is actually a range coming up on this next fight, because my special's bad. But it's nothing to worry about, it's only Eradicate. Yeah, you're right, Simple. They gave Gengar Cursed Body. I didn't get Quick Attack, that's good. Quick Attack just loses time here because you're seeing another move. Alright, this Eradicate is a range. It's a pretty bad range. Yeah, didn't expect to get that. Miss Tackle, very cool. Alright, now we can save Mr. Fuji. And this is where the real game starts. Some people would say that. A lot of this section, called like Flute to End, is very, very execution-based. There's a lot of menus, and there's not really as much that can go wrong compared to the beginning, until the very late game. Okay, and if I repelled in the right spot and moved correctly, should see something cool right here. Yep, you see Nurse Joy's in the void right there. I like doing that. Let's not lose any time, and it looks cool. Yeah, Spiral Slot 2 is, it's gonna mess me up. You usually get Spiral later, so it's in a, different slot in your party. And now I remember the freshwater this time. Yep! Feels bad when you don't remember the freshwater, because you have to go back to Celadon Mart and get it, and it wastes so much time, and you just feel horrible. So now we're gonna do Silph-Co. You aren't really supposed to do this until later after you've beaten a few of the gyms, but nothing's stopping us from doing it now. So a lot of the Pokemon here are gonna be pretty high leveled. And another banger tune. Okay, let's see if I can get this. It's a little trick that I'm not the best at. Alright, there we go. Picking up the elixir while facing a different direction. It's called swagging something, and you can do that with a lot of things in the run. Oh, that's one of the more famous ones. We would actually like to take some damage on this Arbok. I'm hoping it uses Bite. It does have Glare, which would be pretty annoying. Poison Sting. And it's not Glare, but it's only 1 damage. We do want to take some damage here, because there is a cool red bar setup that Nidoking has access to. And that is because the next gym leader we are going to fight is Koga, who uses poison types. And Koga, his last Pokemon is a Weezing, and Koga has good AI. And remember when I said Misty, good AI, it prioritizes super effective moves, but it also deprioritizes not very effective moves if a neutral alternative exists. Koga has a bunch of not very effective moves, but he has a neutral alternative. That neutral alternative is self-destruct. And so, Koga's Weezing will 100% of the time use self-destruct on Nidoking. What we want to do is die to self-destruct, and then we can use rare candies to revive and do very deep red bar for most of the remainder of the run. But to do that, we gotta take a little bit of damage right here, ideally. I want to take considerable damage from Pidgey out right here. I need to set up an X accuracy and an X speed, because right now, we are not fast enough to outspeed his Alakazam, and we need to outspeed him in order to use Horn Drill. Okay, I got 1 wing attack. Still would like to take a little bit more damage right here. Unfortunately, this is kind of where high defense is bad, because you want to be taking damage. Okay, we're using Rock Slide right here, but we use an X accuracy so it always hits, so I don't really count that. There is a really risky strategy called Silph Red Bar, where you use an X special and tank a Hydro Pump from his Gyarados, but it's very risky, since Gyarados crits, you're dead. There's not much you can do. And there's a lot of stuff that can kill you until Koga. So that's really only for kind of world record attempts. Okay. I need to be around 59 or 60 HP, so I'm way... I need to take a lot of damage. I'm very healthy right now. So I need to use an Ether to reset my Horn Drill PP. I'm actually going to do that in this fight, so I can have an opportunity to take a little bit more damage. First off, I'm going to set up an X-Ack on this Cubone. It can Bone Club me, I'm hoping for that. Unfortunate. Okay. I'm going to ether on the Strozzy, which not everyone would do, but you know what? You gotta live sometimes. Alright, confusion, that's very good. Oh, and I'm confused. Oh boy. Okay. Hopefully we make this through. Or actually, if we get a hurt self and don't get damage, that would actually set me a good HP. Okay, now I'm at much more manageable health. The Drowsy has Psychic, and if it crits, it just kills you from full. We have Revives, so it's not much of an issue, since using a Revive would put us at pretty good health anyway, since they revive you for half your HP. Giovanni leads with a Nidorino. We could get damaged on this guy. We would like it to use Horn Attack. That put us at just enough health. Fury Attack's fine too. It's just a little bit slow. Alright. Should be good now. I think there is a chance that we live self-destruct, but we'd live on barely any health, which is fine. And that's only if self-destruct, like, low rolls. So it should be good now. Plus we can get damaged by something else before that. Alright, defeated Giovanni for the second time. And 90% glitchless, since you skipped the rocket hideout. This is the first time you fight Giovanni, but he still acts as if it's the second time. I've actually got a couple things I would like to do here. Before we beat Giovanni, there were a bunch of rocket grunts guarding everything, but now they're all gone, so we can go pillage some items. Nice! Got the YOLO scroll. Glitchless world record does not get that. Alright. So first off, Nidoking's pretty slow, so I'm going to pick up this Carbos and use it right now to increase our speed. The reason I'm using it right now is because our inventory space is very limited, and I'm not going to have enough space to pick up these other two items, which are important. Rare Candy, and TM26, which is Earthquake, which is an actually good move that we're going to teach over Rock Slide. Whoop. I'm going to do a little bit of a menu in front of the Snorlax. We actually need to toss our items to make room for some items we're gonna pick up. Having the Sylph Scope in the bag and revives really limits your inventory, because you can only carry 20 items, and that includes TMs and key items and everything. There's no different pockets like in a normal game. I got a couple of hidden items I need to pick up right here. Nice, I got that one. Another rare candy. And to pick up a hidden PP up, which is going to boost the PP of Horn Drill from 5 to 6. Oh, one tile off. There we go. It's the second biggest break in the run, so you don't need to hold anything, you automatically move down on Cycling Road. Alright, got another fairly big menu to do right here. And we teach Earthquake over Rock Slide. Earthquake is 100 power, 100 accuracy. It's amazing, and it gets same type attack bonus because it's ground type, and Nidoking is ground type. So it's our main kind of damage dealing move. Cutting the trees is just barely faster than biking around. But just by like a smidgen. It's actually faster to bike around in yellow because yellow has a bunch of menu lag. 99.6% accuracy, yes, yes. 100 asterisk, I should say. And I actually have something to do. I'm going to pick up another Carbos, because my speed is so bad. Slowest Carbos in the game. I'm gonna have to use my repel a little bit earlier because I wasted some steps doing that. Whoa, I actually have to use the Carbos too. That would be pretty nice. Not on Paris. And we're just cruising on through. We don't really care about the Pokemon in the Safari Zone or what you're supposed to do. Catch a whole bunch of Pokies, but pick up this old man's teeth that are lying on the dirty ground. Very sanitary. And now we can get Surf. And somehow dig out of the Safari Zone. I guess that makes more sense than digging out of a lot of other places. And now it is time to go to Fuchsia Gym. And fight this juggler. Oh, there's a little bug right there. Repel wore out on a weird spot because I moved incorrectly. So I turn framed and talked to the guy, and that made the exclamation point come up. Generally, you want to talk to trainers instead of have them see you, because the little exclamation point that pops up wastes a little bit of time. Well, I guess I could show off that copium. Time is a construct. So I'll just say this is 155. World record is 156. This fight would just spam Earthquake and win. It's free asterisk. I say that because if you Gen 1 miss, you technically can lose. And this fight coming up, this trainer has a Drowsy and a Hypno. The Drowsy is no problem. The Hypno is a problem. The Hypno is a range, and it's a pretty bad range. Probably not going to get the range. And the Hypno can attack us. It has Headbutt, which we would really like to see, since that put us at HP where we guarantee get killed by self-destruct. It has Confusion, which, you know, is good, but it can confuse us. It has Poison Gas, which does nothing, and it does Disable, which effectively does nothing. Alright. Now we do the actual Koga Fight, and see the self-destruct stretch come into play. And hopefully self-destruct will kill us. A lot of people like try to like you know, play it like a joke. And be like, oh no, I died to Koga, oh, what'll I do? Haha guys, I actually purposely died to Koga. See, that was a joke, but you know, I value you guys. I value your integrity. I think you're smart enough to see through that. So So I'm actually going to use an elixir on Wheezing. Koga can also X-attack, which would not be the worst. Just have to stall a turn. Alright, nice. So now self-destruct is guaranteed to kill because Wheezing is all doped up. Exactly as planned. And so now you're gonna see, watch closely, Koga's dialogue after this. Defense of your Pokemon increases. That's a lie, it increases speed. But make room for this. We don't want Koga's TM, so what we do is we fill our inventory up with 20 items, and it prevents us from him giving us his TM, which is a lot faster than having him explain how Toxic is a very good move. It's not. Toxic is a bad move. At least in Gen 1. And we get Strength, our final HM. And now we got another menu to do. Girl got in the way a little bit. We are going to teach Surf to Squirtle, and then use this rare candy on Nidoking. Repel actually still works in Gen 1 if your lead Pokemon is fainted, but it just works better to rare candy there because you gotta make room for some items we're gonna pick up. This is kind of a little bit of a time to chill. You're just heading through the mansion. No real RNG can't get encounters. It's just execution. We do actually have something to do. There is the final Carbos in the game that we need to pick up. The reason why we're picking up all these Carbos is there's a few key Pokemon that we need to outspeed, that are kind of barriers to certain low speeds Nidoran. And first of all is Sabrina's Alakazam. Sabrina's Alakazam is like scarily fast, and it's a Psychic type gym, and you really don't want to give anything a turn when you're a Poison type in a Psychic type gym. Use this on Squirtle. And then use the Carbos on Nidoking. Do not want to use the Carbos on Squirtle, that would be very bad. Alright. Took that a little slow, but it's better than giving the Carbos to Squirtle. Another banger tune right here. We're going to pick up 2 more rare candies, which are the final ones in the run. Pick up this one right here, and there is a hidden one over here, which is less steps to get than the item ball one, but the jingle makes it take longer. Yeah, I think you're right, Simple. Alright, pick up the secret key, and we are good to dig out of here. Oh yeah, you're right. So now, because my special is bad, I'm actually going to do a different gym order than you would normally. Normally you'd go to Erica's gym right now and defeat her, but her Pokemon are actually going to be ranges with Ice Beam, because I have bad special. Blaine's badge gives a special badge boost. So, by doing Blaine first, and then Sabrina, then Erica, that will guarantee the ranges on Erica's Pokemon. Blaine's just got a little bit of a quiz for us, let's see if we can get the answers. 9 certified Pokemon League badges. I mean, there are now, I guess. There's quite a lot. I don't know how many. It's a lot of Pokemon games. Poliwag evolves 3 times. No, it does not, actually. I mean, it technically does. It depends on if you count Politoed. I don't know, man. Questions are hard. Okay, so Blaine. I want to talk about the Blaine fight a little bit. Blaine is one of 2 fights in the game that you literally cannot lose. If you make the correct inputs. You literally cannot lose to Blaine. And the reason why is that he has good AI, and his Growlithe has Agility. Agility is a Psychic type move. And good AI says, oh, that's a Psychic type move. Nidoking's Poison type. Hey, I'm going to spam that move, and it does not realize that, Agility does not deal damage, so we are completely safe to just set up and sweep. There is something very funny that can happen, and I hope it happens. It'll be, on one of these first couple turns. Set up an X accuracy. No, it did not happen that turn. Nope. So Blaine actually has a chance to use a Super Potion on his full health Pokemon, which is something that we cannot do. Which actually saves time, especially if it's done on the first turn. Because if it's done on the first turn, then you outspeed the Growlithe, and you don't have to watch use Agility again, and you can use Horn Drill, which is a faster animation than Earthquake. Unfortunately, did not get it this time. You can see we're just in red bar, just blazing through everything. It's gonna be like that for a lot of the future. Not picking up his TM. And now, we are going to fight Sabrina. But we're not going to fly to Saffron. It's actually faster to bike from Celadon to Saffron instead of fly to Saffron and then bike to the gym, because the gym is so far away from the Pokemon Center. Sabrina is another fight that is free asterisk. It's free if you don't Gen 1 miss, or have, like, absolutely awful speed. And my speed is just high enough to where I don't have to go for risky strats on Sabrina. Because of all those Carbos I used, I just barely outspeed her Alakazam. Which means I can just spam Earthquake, and if I don't Gen 1 miss, I will win this fight. Free asterisk. If you have really bad speed, you actually have to set up an X speed on her Mr. Mime, and then you have about a coin flip to die. It's really bad. Nice. Hit all the Earthquakes. Very good. Now, we can dig out of this gym, but we're going to do something a little bit interesting if you look closely. Our movement, we're actually going to step on the teleporter. And then dig out. And what that does is it replaces the dig animation with the faster teleporter animation, which is actually still faster than just digging out normally. Right, so now we have the special badge boost from Blaine. We can go and beat Erica. Which these next fights are also free asterisk. In Glitchless, you actually use Blizzard instead of Ice Beam, which, you know, is good for some things. Deals a lot more damage, but it's only 90% accurate. And if you miss Blizzard in certain places, it could be annoying. Or you could just die if it's a really bad place. But we have Ice Beam, which deals less damage, but is 100% accurate. Or 99.6% accurate, if you want to be pedantic. I'm just gonna smash your stuff with Ice Beam. I think, I'm pretty sure if, we did Erica before Blaine, the Victory Belt and Vileplume would be ranges, which are really scary when you're in Red Bar. Nice. I like this last section of the game. It's pretty much just the gym rush. You're just cleaning up. Huge boss rush. Oh, do they? I guess they do. That might just be for the faster animation then. Okay, now we are going to Giovanni's gym, which is a little more scary than the previous gyms, but this is also the last gym, so it's kind of fitting. This trainer is nothing to worry about. He just has a Rhyhorn and Chewy Ice Beam. Nothing scary about it. But, you know, you probably know Giovanni is the gym leader of this gym. So you would think he would be the strongest trainer, or the most dangerous trainer. That is not the case. This guy is horrible, especially if you have not great attack, like I have. He has 2 Machokes and a Machop. The Machokes are ranges with Earthquake. So I'm just hoping I get those ranges, since they can kill me. They're not guaranteed to, but they can. Nice, I got the first one. I'd say that they're about maybe like 45–50% ranges with my attack. Nice, I got both of them. See, that's easy. Nothing can go wrong that fight. Now, you saw how slow the spinny pads were at the Rocket Hideout, so it's actually faster to exit the gym and re-enter to reset the trainer positions than it is to take these slow spinny pads. Perfect time for an elixir, too. That's a very cool place to use an elixir, because it actually deletes a turn frame. Turn frames are very complicated in Gen 1, and you can, if you enter an area, you like have a turn frame stored, but if you menu while facing the same direction, then it deletes the turn frame. It's all very small time saved, but it kind of adds up throughout the run. And this fight is another free asterisk fight. Nothing really to worry about. The only interesting thing about this fight is that his Rhydon, which is his last Pokemon, actually does not die to an Ice Beam, unless it crits. However, Giovanni has good AI, and Rhydon's only super effective move is Fissure, which is a one-hit KO move. However, since he's slower than me, he can't use it. So this fight is actually completely free if you don't Gen 1 miss. Not die to an Ice Beam. See, Fissure is unaffected. One-hit KO moves only work if you are faster. And with that, we've beaten all the gyms. And now we kind of make our way to the end game. We have 6 fights left in the game. All of varying degrees of difficulty. We got the home stretch right here. And we're gonna fight our rival one last time, and this is the only other fight in the game besides Blaine that is actually free. Like, there's 0% chance you lose this if you input correctly and use the right moves. Again, because Pidgeot is just going to spam agility because it thinks it's super effective. And let us set up all our stuff on him. Pidgeot does not die to an Ice Beam, but it's useful to get a crit here. There's no harm done. It's going to continue to spam agility, even though it does nothing. Thunderbolt's useful just mainly for Gyarados. It's pretty much our anti-Gyarados tech. I've heard someone call it that. A cool thing about this fight is, if you have really bad attack, the Alakazam is a range. That's not really cool. So, to remedy that, what you do is you use an X speed on the Growlithe, which gives you an attack badge boost. Because badge boosts actually are erased when you level up. And you level up before the Alakazam in this fight. So if you use an X speed on the Growlithe, you set up an extra attack badge boost, which guarantees the Alakazam with horrid attack. And now we can just go through the badge check gates. This is really the part of the run where your nerfs start to set in on PB attempts. I gotta remember Squirtle slot 3. Squirtle's usually slot 2, because you usually don't get a Spearow all the way back in the beginning of the game. Alright. Victory Road is a really, really fun part. I'm not using that sarcastically either, that sounded like I was, but it's a pretty fun bit of execution. There's actually no mandatory trainers in Victory Road. So it's pretty much all just execution. Just use strength to push these boulders, and I'm going to do something that is known as a swag boulder. Right there. You can swag a lot of things in this game, and the boulders are one of them. Yeah, that really gets the viewership up. It does lose turn frames, which loses repel steps, so I'm not going to do them everywhere. But that's just a fun little thing you can do. Yeah, Simple is right. You can't swag vertically, only horizontally. There are optimal swag boulders if you're going to turn a direction anyway. That's what people call them, optimal swag boulders. I would not say they're optimal because they don't save time. And I wouldn't really call them swag either because they don't lose time. But, you know, whatever. Semantics. It's a very long boulder. This would be a very cool one to swag boulder on, but repel steps are super tight here. If you move wrong, like, pretty much at all, then you have to take an extra menu to repel. Oh, don't worry, you'll see swag boulders on this next boulder. Because that one is completely safe to swag boulder on. This repel is super tight. Hopefully I did everything right and didn't like have a weird turn frame or something. Nice. And the bike music's still playing even though we're not on the bike, fun fact. Alright. This is Swag Boulder heaven right here. That's why you late repel so you can Swag Boulder more. I'm not that kind of guy. There we go. That's some good Swag Boulders. Alright, so now we're in the Elite Four. In PB attempts, you would deposit every Pokemon besides your bird and Nidoking into the PC, so that it saves time in Hall of Fame, because it shows all your Pokemon. But we actually need stuff to revive Nidoking if something goes wrong, so not gonna do that. Lorelei is a very interesting fight, in that she favors status moves on turn 2 due to an off-by-1 error, and she has good AI. So due to that, on turn 1 she will have a 50% chance to go for Aurora Beam or Rest on Nidoking. So what we do is we actually sacrifice the bird. Due to the AI cheating and picking its moves after your Pokemon has been sent out, she always goes for Aurora Beam on the bird, and since it's turn 2, she will always go for Rest this turn on Nidoking. So we can have a free turn to set up and sweep. It's very complicated, a lot to explain, but it's a very cool strat. And just like, I think this fight is just like the culmination of everything that I love about Gen 1. It's the weird janky mechanics. Yeah. I think I remembered it as slot 2. You do not want to send Squirtle out. That would be very bad, because then Lorelei will use 50% to use Growl or Takedown. Alright. Lorelei's simple. Yeah, that's totally fine. I can explain that again. Horn Drill does not miss because the X accuracy just removes the concept of accuracy from the game. It just makes all your moves hit. Okay, not much can go wrong on Bruno. Very, very unlikely to kill you. If Slam crits, you die, but that's really it. Harden is fine. Cool. Bruno's done. The rest of the fights aren't that simple, unfortunately. Dude, we've kept Red Bar all the way here. We got Red Bar off of Koga from reviving, and we're keeping it all the way through Bruno, which is just so long, and that saves minutes, actually. Red Bar actually saves an insane amount of time throughout the game. Now we actually have to heal, though, unfortunately, because this next fight is a bit of a doozy. Agatha is a bit of a troll. We have to set up an X speed on her first Gengar. And her first Gengar can do a lot of things. It can do a lot of things, and hopefully it won't do bad things. Ideally, it Dream Eaters or Nightshades, but it can confuse Ray, which is, oh, that's horrible. I'm gonna Super here, actually, just for safety. Nightshade. I think I'd just go for it. Oh no, hurt self. If it Nightshades again, I'm dead. I'm gonna full restore. I really would prefer not to die here. Hopefully we snap out of confusion. Another hurt self. Whoa. Nightshade again. I'm going for it. No! I... I'm... We're starting again. This is a bad fight. Okay. Okay, I think next turn I'm guaranteed to snap out, so... That's fine. This Golbat can be a problem. It has Haze, which removes your stat changes, so if it uses Haze, we need to X speed again. Thankfully, that works out very well. And thankfully, I'm at, like, very good HP right now. I'm at, like, the exact HP I want to be at. No, what? Oh, was there a Gen 1 miss? I'm seeing that in the chat, and I just didn't notice. Amazing. Well, you saw that now. I was wondering when that was gonna happen. Okay, so now the next fight is Lance, and the problem with Lance is we really don't have a way of taking out his Gyarados turn 1. I was confused already. Yeah, that wasn't a Gen 1 miss. We have no way of taking out his lead Gyarados turn 1. Thunderbolt does not kill, so what we do is we heal to a specific amount of HP. It's simple, full restore doesn't heal confusion. Heal to a specific amount of HP, which I just happen to be put out on Agatha, so I don't actually need to heal. And then use an X special, which lets us tank his Gyarados' Hydro Pump, and ideally get into Red Bar for this fight. Really cool strat. I saved because if Gyarados crits, I'm just dead, and there's not really a good way to recover from that. Gyarados is 16% to crit. Oh, time for this is not coming up for a while yet. It's after Hall of Fame. See, now we're in Red Bar, and we just sweep the rest of his fight. Dragonaire's a range of horrible special. Amazing. Actually need to X speed here. Yeah, this is bad HP for Champ. I am going to have to use a regular potion and try and get into Red Bar, but fortunately, I have both revives. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Alright, defeated Lance. There is one fight left in the entire game. I just have to heal a little bit for that. I'm not saving, because I have both revives. So this guy leads with Pidgeot again, but unfortunately he doesn't have agility, so he can't abuse good AI. So he just uses moves randomly. We would like to see one wing attack. Not two wing attacks, and we would really not like to see Sky attack. Oh, it's still in Red Bar. Okay, Whirlwind is fine. Set up an X accuracy, get wing attack. Ooh, alright, sweet. That is, this fight is free from here. We set up an X accuracy, we set up an X speed, so we're faster than anything, and we just sweep with Horn Drill. Whew. So yeah, it's actually crazy that, there were no deaths past Misty. Unfortunately, there were 3 deaths to Misty, but, you know, we can look past that. And this fight is why we got the PP up for Horn Drill. Earthquake would be a range on the Alakazam. And range on an Alakazam is not the kind of sentence you want to hear in this game. sacrifice his last Pokemon. Time is not